Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Daily Dose. We are kicking it off today on the Warlord Nation account. Look at that sexy skin down there. Old mate Lubu rocking it in red. In terms of today, I figured it's a new event cycle. We should probably cover it. We should probably talk a little bit about the pros and cons, and then we can probably, I don't know, do some improvements. I want to say, I feel like there's some stuff that I can potentially level up on this character. Although I've been pretty consistent so far. We are, of course, very close, 3 levels away. It seems like forever, but every single day we are buying out the stamina pills. We're doing everything we can to get to 120 for the Ascension feature of the game, which will be fantastic to cover that here, of course, on the channel. If you're new or visiting, make sure you hit that like, subscribe, notification button. Jump into the fam. We are on Discord. It's called One Above All. It's linked in the description field below. Don't be afraid. Say hello there. We will probably be doing some pulls later on today. But in terms of this, let's talk a little bit about my favorite Micey event. Now, this is a probably a mandatory event to save for. You kind of want to have these dice staved up. When I say it's mandatory, it really is. It's very similar to the limited hero event. There's a leaderboard, as you can see, and you need to do 60 dice to even get on the leaderboard. Now, that's not possible without spending money as a free-to-play, so you pretty much have to save the dice up every single event. And of course, you need to be able to be in a gold surplus to spend 9k gold for the additional 30 rolls. Now, it is very important for you to do this, and I'm going to go ahead and purchase these ones out as well. Mainly because you get 6 a day. So you're going to get 6 a day from doing your daily tasks. The game can be generous every now and then and give you one for free. I haven't seen it give you one for free yet. What did we get today? We got gold. I don't know. Maybe it does. I can't remember. It could be a one-off. Actually, I feel like Annihilation is the only one, or maybe Transformation. I don't know. It sounds right. It sounds right. We normally we get one currency in some of these events. Anyway, let's not get sidetracked. So, in terms of the whole perspective, well, your main goal is to save up around 60 to 100 of these dice before you pull the trigger. And the reason being is there is a nice long-winded formulation of probability. But essentially speaking, one dice is either going to get you a bronze mice, a silver mice, or a chance at a gold mice. You can get a gold jackpot as well. And of course, you can get 2 of the mini events. So the probability rate is pretty scattered. Now, bronze mice, silver mice, gold mice, they're kind of the mices that everybody gets in general. Bronze mice are good. They have utility. We're going to cover that in a second. But realistically, everybody chases the silver mice. Now, the drop rates for silver mice is a 9% chance. I'm just going to round it up and call it 9%. You can jackpot out and get up to 10 silver mices in one batch. So if you land on a silver mice, you have a chance to roll either a 1 silver mice, 2, 3, 4, all the way up to 10 on that 1 silver mice tile. So it's kind of it's a gamble, right? The most I've ever seen frequently is 3 mice. I do get sometimes the 10 mouse jackpots for the silver mice, I should say. Bronze mice have never ever got a 10 bronze mice jackpot before, but it's the same probability, though statistically you have a higher chance of getting a bronze micey. Now you have gold, which is pretty stock standard. The gold jackpot, which sucks, they should remove it, is 6,666 gold. Why the fuck do you want that when you could get a gold mice that is actually valuable? However, the game likes to do that just because it can. Unfortunately, if you do land on that, it really does suck. But in terms of that, you also have the rock, scissor, paper events as well. I don't actually know if I'll be spinning on this account. I may spin on the other one if I've got some dice saved up, just because I kind of want to get on the leaderboard. And there's a time event around, so I don't know if I'll be spending specifically for that event. But when I do the pulls, obviously we will know together. Now, in terms of this, if you do a 10 bomb, you will get a guaranteed 3 silver mices. It's very important to accumulate silver mice. And the reason why is they can be exchanged for the newest beasts. Now, if you're like, okay, PB, so where the fuck's the where's the dragon? We'll show you in a second. But for those that are, of course, new to the game, and you all probably have the same question, which one do I get if I get lucky with 100 silver mices or 1 gold mousey? Mices, mousies. I would strongly recommend the Fire Kitty Inferno Quangji. This one here is going to be your staple beast if you're starting out in the game. Would I recommend building every one of these? Eventually, you will, just for the synergies. However, I would recommend getting your Infernal Kitty up to 4 star and then focusing on the Karkadin after that. And then you can get the Heaven's Dragon and the Cyan Rook. Now, it really is up to interpretation whether or not you go for Heaven's Dragon before the dinosaur. One thing I will say about it is, where are you? Billionaire, there you are. So you can actually exchange the silver mices here for the shards of the Heaven's Dragon. Now, the Heaven's Dragon does synergize with the Inferno Kitty, so you will get an initial power boost if you decide to get that over the dinosaur, the dino, the Karkadin. But let's be honest, this is purely for support. Yes, it's going to give you rage, it's going to give you a damage bonus, it's going to heal your team members. Is it a must build? It's, arguably you want it, but would I get it over a Karkadin? I feel like Karkadin's utility with the stuns and damage at end of round 1 is pretty good, pretty consistent, especially if you start to build him into higher levels. He's going to support your team in initially getting that first kill. Now, that's really important because if you're going to talk about anything with beasts, you've got to talk about the epics as well. In terms of that, you're really aiming for the first kill ratio. You really want to get a first kill within round 1 if possible. Karkanen's going to really help you to achieve that, simply because it's going to do additional damage. By the way, this is defense ignored, so it's pure damage. It scales based on your combined heroes' attack ratings, and it attacks the entire front row. We'll give you a demo, and it also has a stun chance. Now, this can be really good depending on the nations that you play, because chances are you're already attacking the front row anyway, which means they're probably in a situation where you can actually do some finishing moves. Now, of course, this is all relative and it does scale depending on the gear that you get, but in terms of that, I feel like Karkanen is a great second choice. Fire Kitty goes at the very beginning of the battle and it burns the enemies. It hits everyone as well. Great for the Wu Nation in particular, but everybody really wants to use that because its damage bonuses scale with things like Trial of Tower. It's very important to get that round 1 burn off, get that burst damage before all your team members attack. Now, in terms of this though, why do I strategize around Karkaden? I kind of think Karkaden, Fire Kitty, and the Mechanical Bird go hand in hand. Now, if you can manage to get that kill off, then the Mechanical Bird triggers, which is going to be your first epic hero or epic beast to build, I should say, and it actually attacks the back row. Now, it burns them as well. It's very important to take note of the synergy of the Fire Kitty and the Mechanical Bird, because they burn, meaning they're going to actually do continued damage at the beginning of the rounds. That's going to be enough in a lot of instances to kill the targets that have a little bit of HP left. After that, of course, then I will probably say you might be in a situation mid to late game where you need a little bit more damage, a little bit more sustain, a little bit more, well, overall support. The Heaven's Dragon is going to be there for you. Now, this little baddie, this baddie, I'm going to call it baddie. I got it to 4-star. I don't think I'll take it any higher than that just yet. But essentially, it's going to heal the front row. It basically gives damage bonus to everyone. And it gives rage to the back row. Now, depending on how you want to trigger this, it happens at turn 4 of round 1. That's it's up to you. However you want to play this, you can play this. It really is just for a support mechanism. Honestly, out of all the support ones so far, that one and probably the kin. I don't want to mispronounce it. The mythic one looks like it's a resurrection hero that also does heals. So that might be very interesting with that the Heaven's Dragon as well. But ultimately, these three are the ones that you're going to aim for. Anyway, in terms of that, I guess we went a little bit more holistic than I normally would. But that's my advice. Fire Kitty, Karkadan, and then Epics, you're going to go with the Mechanical Bird with those bronze Myces that you snag. Now, in terms of everybody else, though, this is probably for those that are late game, that are the whaley variety. You're going to notice that you can now buy grade 4 gear. Now, grade 4 gear, I feel like a lot of people probably want to grab this. Is it going to be worth it? Debatable. The reason I say debatable is because we know there is mythic gear sets. Whether or not they give the option to upgrade legendary gear into mythic gear, similar to the Soul Forge function, I have fucking no idea. I can't read Korean, unfortunately. However, it could be a distinct possibility that you can upgrade your legendary beast gear later on. If not, we really need to suggest that to the development team, because that sounds like a fan-fucking-tastic idea for all those lovely players that have struggled to get this. But as you can see, they actually heavily discounted what was originally going to be a high price for the grade 3 gear. It's been reduced by 20%, so now you can get the grade 3 gear for cheap. Um, it's a random chest though, which, I mean, PB's thoughts on random chests. I tell you what, fuck you to the moon game. Um, I feel like this is maybe a bad investment. I reckon maybe the Annihilation event might be a little bit more fortuitous, but the Annihilation event didn't have the grade 4 gear, it only had the grade 3 gear, so this is kind of the gamble that you're going to take. If you're a whale, let me know. Did you gamble on the grade 4 gear, or did you say, fuck that PB, I'm going for the guaranteed 7 stars? And did you max out all the rest of your legendary heroes? That is an interesting conundrum. Now I'll give you a rough example of what one dice roll looks like. Fuck, speak English. There we go. One bronze mousey, and that's all you get for now. But essentially speaking, it is a gamble, 100% a gotcha. Moving on to the next event, everybody's questionable event. Now, I noticed that they introduced something very similar to the SPs on the Korean server, where if you do 100 of these summons, you'll get 40 of the shards. Now, granted, that's the same consistency of getting one full hero after 300 summons. However, because people probably went fuck you to the moon again, they really wanted to do it at every 100 summons, which allows people to essentially build this hero. So, granted, if you did 100 summons, chances are you probably are within that ballpark of between 50, maybe 40 shards short, which is really going to help you if you can get old mate Yi Sun Shin. Old mate Yi, we're going to call him Yi. He's probably really butchering the pronunciation of that. But old mate Sun over here, let's call him Sun. Sunny boy, he is an interesting hero. Now, it has been said from a time perspective, he's got some great burst potential. I did look at him in a previous video because he's in the gallery already. However, he looks like he's going to really shine in teams where they lack killables. Killability is a huge thing in this game. A lot of nations like, Warlords, even to an extent, Wu Nation. Sometimes even I would even go as far as to say Wei Nation in a lot of regards as well, just doesn't have that burst potential to finish off a enemy team. It really doesn't have that. A lot of it just has a lot of spread out damage, a lot of burning, a lot of sustaining, a lot of fucking other rubbish, a lot of CCing. Shu Nation, however, doesn't have a problem with that. Realistically speaking, you can build a lot of bursty Shu Nation heroes, but I feel like this guy's probably going to find his way into the I want to call it like a I don't want to say late game global meta because I don't feel like this is going to be really competitive against Mythic Heroes because everyone's going to start building Mythic Heroes. So where does this guy really stand? But from a sort of as we are now in the global perspective, um, and I'm only going to really look at him at 7 star because we're going to get to that in a second. Honestly, the amount of damage he's going to do, he's got 100% crit rate. He has bonus damage. He gets it for 2 rounds. He deals extra damage to a target with highest attack. If there's more than if there's more enemies than allies, i.e., like he's like last man standing situation, this attack has a extra defense ignoring and accuracy bonus. He can inflict delay on the column with the enemy with the highest attack. So I guess he targets the highest attacking column, causing their skills to cost 2 more rage for 2 rounds. Fuck. Uh, when any attack crits, removes 2 debuffs from self with a 40% chance to gain a shield equal to 100% attack and reduce the damage reduction of all enemies by 30% for 2 rounds. But that's at 7 star. Arguably, most players are probably going to get him to 5 star by saving up 300 for this event. So even at 5 star, he's still doing a whopping amount of damage. His accuracy boost's still there. He still has extra damage. He ignores defense. He does have the delay tactic as well. Is he a good hero? Really, I think a lot of people are going to ask me, is he worth building? I know a lot of people are already showing me on the Discord that they've managed to get a copy of like 10 pools or 1 pool, which is fantastic. But the reality is, this guy's not going to shine until he gets to 7 star. 5 star is kind of where I would say I would consider replacing a team member currently with him, only because it would be Jia that's going to go, and Jia is pretty consistent with his poison and AoE based damage. Um, my team does lack the burst because we've only got Lubu and not a legendary or mythic transformation. However, the minute that I build the new mythic hero, then I'm fucked. Because then I really have to decide: do I get rid of old mate Zhuge or Zhu Zhang or Daoshan? And I really wouldn't get rid of Daoshan anymore. The reason why is Daoshan's consistency with silence has increased exponentially. And Tokugawa is not going anywhere because he's just a beast in terms of silence in his own right, and he does pretty good column damage, or sorry, front row damage. So this really means, what do I fucking pick? As somebody did say, you just pick the lowest aptitude hero, and that's fair enough. Aptitude 17 heroes are the lowest in the game. Obviously, that's going to be anything that you can see on the screen. However, I've then got to have the challenge of actually building this guy. So now I'm fucking committed. I have to be committed to build this guy to 7 star for it to even be a worthwhile investment. Now, the good news is PB's already got 158 of these, and I haven't spent anything this event. So I've just been saving these guys up every time they appear. Now, it's going to cost me 12k gold to get the last one. I think I need like an extra, I don't know, 100 gold or something like that. You let me know in the comment section down below. Is it worth me doing and building this hero? I want to hear it from you. Do you want me to build this hero? If it's a resounding yes by the end of the event, I will endeavor to get 300 plus tokens, and then we can go ahead with the spins. If you want me to do your spins for you, if you'd like to build this hero, obviously make sure you're in the Discord. Let us know in that section as well. I do summons for the Discord members if they're interested. I do power ups and reviews as well. But in terms of this, is it going to be worth my time building this guy? Because that, like I said, it's a predicament. Now I've got to fuck someone off in my team, and I don't know how I feel about that. She has sort of been on the chopping block the minute that Mythic appeared. Um, Arguably, I still want this guy for the AoE rage reduction. He's still pretty versatile. So then, yep, hard fucking questions. Hard questions, no answers just yet. Anyway, I think I'll leave it there. I probably should talk slightly about the probability of the drop rate, which is 0.2% chance. it is a fairly good, consistent thing across the board. It potentially, I don't know, fucking, uh, I don't know. I could go through 300 and not get a full copy. Um, that would really suck. That literally would mean that I can't build a 4 star of him. So that's the gamble that we as a community are going to force PB into building. Now, I do have to talk about a little bit about the value analysis as well. As you can see, the packages do offer these ones, which is something from the transformation event. You need 2 of these, so 2 of the most expensive packages right now. You need 2 of these to create 1 legendary charm, and once you've created that legendary charm, you would then be able to synthesize that next transformation event in order to select 1 legendary transformation avatar from a chest. You also get some of these ultimate star karmas and all the other stuff along the way. Now, this is for the newer players. If you're thinking about spending and you're like, PB, should I buy it just so I can get a legendary transformation? Sorry, an epic transformation. Honestly, if you're going to spend, this is a terrible investment. Very early game, early to mid game, you probably can get away with spending a little bit on a transformation chest. Now, be in mind, I don't ever condone or promote the spending on any platform. But if you were to do it in a sense of an informed investment, being able to select one of these heroes is probably going to boost your overall damage potential. Honestly, though, you'd have to ask me. You'd have to ask me, members in the Discord or comment section, which one to pick. You'd have to tell us which nation to go for. There are a couple of ones that would stand out in my mind, which is Sun Quan, which you can eventually get from the wishing shop. Who else is there? Dank Stash does a buff. I mean, honestly, what other ones? I mean, this guy here, pretty good. Um, Again, though, it really would just depend on where you're at within the game, whether or not we would say, yeah, go ahead with that one. But in terms of this seems like it's the oh shit, give me that back. Come back here. This seems to be like it's the biggest package to buy. Um, I want to say the actual blessings themselves, like the tokens. So the other ones really don't have big token packages in them, which is fine, I guess, because you could probably get away with it by buying a couple of the smaller packages, add them all up together. I mean, that's probably the path we will have to take if you decide that you want me to pull the trigger. Look, I'm not against it. I'm happy to go ahead with it, but you need to let me know. In terms of the billionaire, though, the packages are pretty crappy. Like, they're pretty stock standard. I was hoping that they would give either a full legendary set here, i.e., that they would have the Fire Kitty and the Heaven's Dragon available, but they don't. So it kind of sucks in terms of that investment. And of course, 30 dice is not really going to make any difference to you. Ultimately speaking, though, if you just wanted 30 dice, it's probably going to cost you $23. And if you wanted the 30 shards, that's where it's pretty much like an extra 50. Yeah, I'd skip those. That'd be the first time I'd say I'd skip some billionaires in terms of the value packages. All right, I think that's enough talking. Last but not least, I always say this, by the way. Last but not least, let's see if we can I upgrade you? Can I star you up? How many of you do I need? Ooh, I need one more. Oh, fucking hell. This is, I'll be patient. I'll be patient. PB will be patient about that. He's not going to rush into anything just yet. But it would be nice to get him to 7-star. Alright. Anything else? Can I think of anything else? Anything else to do before we go? Let's get you to plus 11. Is there anyone else? I don't think so. I think that's pretty much it. Yeah. All right. Let me know in the comment section below. It is going to be your decision if I pull for the Time Summons Hero. And I'll see you all in the next one.